Giants falling. 6 worst bankruptcies in history. What happens when giants fall? Today we're talking about a different kind of giant. The kind that throws around words like market share and synergy with the reckless abandon of a toddler with a bag of glitter. Today we'll dive into the 6 worst bankruptcies in history, stories of success, greed, and disaster. The last one, it's a game changer, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is going to be a bumpy ride through the graveyard of corporate ambition. Stick around, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories. Enron, the house of cards built on lies. First up, a name synonymous with corporate fraud so egregious, it would make Bernie Madoff blush. Enron, remember them? Back in the late 90s, they were the darlings of the energy world, a shining example of American innovation. Their stock was soaring higher than a caffeinated eagle on a sugar rush. But behind the gleaming facade of Enron's success was a tangled web of deceit, cooked books, and more accounting loopholes than a Swiss cheese factory. Their collapse in 2001 wasn't just a business failure, it was a national scandal. Pensions were wiped out, livelihoods destroyed, and the American public left wondering how such a massive fraud could have gone undetected for so long. The answer, as it often is, involved a toxic cocktail of deregulation, lax oversight, and a healthy dose of good old-fashioned greed. Enron's downfall exposed the dark underbelly of corporate America, revealing a system ripe for abuse. The Enron saga remains a cautionary tale of corporate hubris and the devastating consequences of unchecked greed. Lehman Brothers, the fall that shook the world. The name itself evokes a sense of grandeur and financial might, a titan in the world of banking. Next up, we journey to the hallowed halls of Wall Street, the epicenter of global finance, where greed isn't just good, it's practically a religious sacrament. Here, fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. Here, in the belly of the financial beast, we find Lehman Brothers, a firm that once stood as a pillar of stability and success. A venerable institution older than sliced bread, the Model T, and the internet combined. Founded in 1850, it survived wars, depressions, and countless market upheavals. For over 150 years, Lehman weathered financial storms that would have sunk lesser firms. It was a testament to resilience and adaptability. But even the mightiest ships can be capsized by the perfect storm, and Lehman Brothers was no exception. For Lehman Brothers, that storm was the 2008 financial crisis, a cataclysmic event that reshaped the financial landscape. Their collapse wasn't just a tragedy for the firm's employees and investors, it was a seismic event that sent shockwaves through the global economy. It triggered a global economic earthquake, shaking the foundations of financial systems worldwide and leading to widespread panic and uncertainty. What went wrong? Imagine a group of executives in expensive suits, high on their own hubris, making increasingly risky bets on the housing market. They believed the housing market would continue to rise indefinitely, ignoring the warning signs of an impending collapse. When the housing bubble finally burst, it wasn't just a pop, it was an explosion that sent shockwaves through the global financial system, causing widespread devastation. Lehman Brothers, over-leveraged and overexposed, found themselves on the wrong side of a tidal wave of bad bets, unable to recover. The firm's downfall was swift and brutal, a stark reminder of the perils of unchecked greed and reckless risk-taking. The Lehman Brothers saga is a stark reminder that even the most established institutions are vulnerable to reckless risk-taking and the perils of unchecked greed. It serves as a cautionary tale for future generations, a lesson in the importance of prudence and responsibility in the world of finance. Blockbuster, a cautionary tale of missed opportunities. Let's be honest, who among us hasn't wandered the aisles of a Blockbuster video store on a Friday night, desperately seeking the perfect movie for a night in? Blockbuster was more than just a company, it was a cultural touchstone, a fixture of our collective memories. They were the kings of home entertainment, ruling the video rental market with an iron fist. But even kings can be dethroned, and Blockbuster's reign came to an end not with a bang, but with a whimper. Their downfall wasn't due to some grand economic catastrophe or a scandal of Enronian proportions. No, Blockbuster's demise was a death by 1,000 cuts, a slow, agonizing decline brought about by their own inability to adapt to a changing world. Netflix, a plucky startup offering DVD rentals by mail, was starting to make waves. They even approached Blockbuster in 2000, offering to sell themselves for a paltry $50 million. Blockbuster scoffed at the offer. In 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy, a cautionary tale of corporate hubris and the dangers of clinging to outdated business models in the face of disruptive change. Kodak, the price of ignoring the future. Kodak. The name itself evokes memories of family vacations, blurry Polaroids, and that distinct chemical scent of developing fluid. For For generations, Kodak was synonymous with photography, a company so dominant that their yellow and gold logo was as recognizable as any national flag. But even empires built on celluloid can crumble, and Kodak's fall from grace is a cautionary tale of what happens when innovation is stifled by complacency. Here's the kicker. Kodak actually invented the digital camera, but instead of embracing this revolutionary invention, they chose to bury it, fearing it would cannibalize their lucrative film business. While Kodak clung to the fading glory of film, the world embraced digital photography with open arms. By the time they finally realized the error of their ways, it was too late. In 2012, Kodak filed for bankruptcy, a victim of their own short-sightedness and inability to adapt to the changing tides of technology. Their story is a stark reminder that no company, no matter how iconic or dominant, is immune to the forces of disruption. 5. Toys R Us. The empire that forgot about playtime. Remember that magical place? The one with aisles overflowing with toys, the smell of plastic and possibility hanging in the air? It was a wonderland for children and a nostalgic trip for parents, a place where dreams were just a purchase away. That, my friends, was Toys R Us, the undisputed king of the toy store kingdom. It was a place where every child's imagination could run wild and every visit felt like an adventure. But even kingdoms built on Lego bricks and Barbie dolls can crumble. Toys R Us's demise is a cautionary tale of what happens when nostalgia and debt collide in a perfect storm of financial ruin. The shelves that once brimmed with joy and excitement became empty, echoing the silence of a bygone era. For decades, Toys R Us was the undisputed champion of toy retail. It was the go-to destination for birthdays, holidays, and every special occasion in between. Parents and children alike would flock to its stores, eager to explore the latest and greatest in the world of toys. But behind the colorful facade and mountains of plush toys, a perfect storm was brewing. The company was struggling to keep up with the changing times, and the cracks in its foundation were beginning to show. The rise of online retailers like Amazon was changing the retail landscape. Consumers were increasingly turning to the convenience of online shopping, and Toys R Us, burdened by debt from a leveraged buyout, was slow to adapt. The once thriving aisles of Toys R Us began to see fewer and fewer shoppers. They were like a lumbering dinosaur trying to outrun a meteor, weighed down by their own massive infrastructure and unable to keep up with the agility of their online competitors. The digital age was upon them, and Toys R Us found itself ill-equipped to compete. In 2017, after years of declining sales and mounting debt, Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy. It was a victim of changing consumer habits, increased competition, and their own inability to adapt. The news sent shockwaves through the retail world, marking the end of an era. The once mighty empire of toys was forced to liquidate its assets, closing its doors for good in 2018. The vibrant stores that once brought joy to millions were now just empty shells, a stark reminder of the impermanence of even the most beloved institutions. The fall of Toys R Us is a stark reminder that even the most beloved brands are not immune to the forces of change. It serves as a poignant lesson in the importance of adaptability and the relentless march of progress. The memories of Toys R Us will live on, but its story is a testament to the ever-evolving nature of the retail landscape. Evergrande, a colossus on shaky foundations. And now, for our final act, we travel to the land of booming megacities and breakneck economic growth, China. A country that has seen unprecedented urbanization and development over the past few decades, transforming its landscape with towering skyscrapers and sprawling urban centers. Here, amidst the gleaming skyscrapers and bustling streets, we find Evergrande, a real estate giant with a name that sounds more like a superhero than a company teetering on the brink of collapse. Evergrande was not just a player in the real estate market, it was a behemoth, a symbol of China's rapid economic ascent. But as we all know, even superheroes have their weaknesses, and Evergrande's kryptonite turned out to be a mountain of debt so colossal it would make even the most reckless Wall Street banker break into a cold sweat. This debt was not just a minor hiccup, it was a ticking time bomb that threatened to bring down the entire empire. Evergrande wasn't just another real estate developer, they were a colossus, a titan of the industry with fingers in every pie imaginable. From residential complexes to commercial skyscrapers, they had a hand in almost every major construction project across China. They built sprawling residential complexes, gleaming office towers, even theme parks and sports stadiums. Their ambition knew no bounds, and their projects were as diverse as they were grandiose. But beneath the glittering facade of success, a crisis was brewing. The rapid expansion and aggressive borrowing had created a fragile foundation, one that was beginning to show cracks. Evergrande had been on a debt-fueled spending spree, borrowing billions upon billions of dollars to fund their ambitious projects. This relentless pursuit of growth came at a steep price, as the company found itself buried under an insurmountable pile of debt. In 2021, the music stopped. China's government, concerned about the risks posed by Evergrande's reckless borrowing, stepped in and began to tighten the reins on the real estate market. The regulatory crackdown was aimed at curbing excessive debt and ensuring financial stability, but it also exposed the vulnerabilities of companies like Evergrande. The Evergrande crisis sent shockwaves through the global economy, raising fears of a contagion that could spread to other heavily indebted Chinese companies and beyond. Investors around the world watched anxiously as the situation unfolded, worried that the collapse of such a massive entity could trigger a domino effect, impacting global financial markets and economies far beyond China's borders. So there you have it. 6 tales of corporate hubris, financial mismanagement, and the relentless march of time. From the accounting scandals of Enron to the missed opportunities of Blockbuster, these stories serve as cautionary tales for businesses both big and small. But amidst the wreckage of these corporate collapses, there are valuable lessons to be learned. Lessons about the importance of adaptability, the dangers of unchecked growth, and the need for ethical and responsible business practices. Which bankruptcy shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments. For more fascinating stories, check out this next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.